For 19 days, one of the most powerful public AI models on Earth did not just slow down, it disappeared. Claude Fable 5 was supposed to be Anthropic's safer public version of a frontier system. Then the White House and Commerce Department stepped in, export controls hit, and Anthropic pulled access for everyone, not just overseas users, everyone. This is not just a product launch story. It is the moment frontier AI started looking less like normal software and more like controlled strategic infrastructure. The uncomfortable question is simple. Who gets to decide when a model is too dangerous to use? First, the launch. In June 2026, Anthropic introduced Claude Fable 5 and Claude Mythos 5. Mythos was the restricted top-end system. Fable was the model ordinary customers could touch, a Mythos-class model, but wrapped in the strongest safeguards Anthropic had ever put around a public release. That is the paradox. Anthropic's safety culture has spent years warning that frontier models could cross into dangerous cyber territory. Its own public write-up says Mythos can find and exploit vulnerabilities better than any other model, and better than all but the most skilled human security experts. Then came the order. On June 12th, the U.S. government applied export controls to Fable 5 and Mythos 5. Anthropic says the directive required it to restrict foreign nationals, whether they were inside the United States or outside it. That sounds precise. In practice, it was nearly impossible. Anthropic did not have a reliable real-time system to verify nationality for every user hitting Claude, so the company chose the cleanest compliance path: suspend access to both models for all users. Now, the twist. The trigger was a report from Amazon researchers. According to Anthropic, the report found a way to bypass Fable 5's safeguards, so the model identified software vulnerabilities, and in one case, produced code showing how one vulnerability could be exploited. But here is the correction that matters. Anthropic later said the bypass did not reveal unique Mythos-level offensive capability. In its view, this was a borderline defensive cyber case, not the model suddenly becoming a cyber superweapon. That does not make the episode smaller. It makes it bigger. If a borderline cyber example can trigger a government shutdown of a frontier model, the fight is not only about capability. It is about trust, verification, liability, and control. Then Fable came back. On June 30, Anthropic said the export controls were lifted. On July 1st, Fable 5 returned globally on Claude platform, Claude.ai, Claude Code, and Claude Cowork, with cloud access moving back online as quickly as possible. But this was not the same open-feeling launch. Pro, Max, Team, and Select Enterprise users could use Fable 5 for up to 50% of weekly limits through July 7. After that, Anthropic moved it to usage credits. The returned model came back with a harness, stronger safety classifiers, access controls, safety training, and offline monitoring. This is defense in depth. One layer catches bad prompts, another layer watches patterns, another limits who can get what kind of power. And if a request triggers a Fable safety classifier, Anthropic says the user is notified, and the request gets sent to Opus 4.8 instead. You still get an answer, but you may no longer be inside the Frontier engine. So, was Washington right? The safety case is straightforward. If a model can help find and demonstrate software vulnerabilities, even in limited cases, it is dual-use technology. And Anthropic's own warning about Mythos-level cyber power makes the government's fear hard to dismiss. The builder case is just as real. If the guardrails are too broad, the product gets worse. Legitimate security research looks suspicious. Normal debugging gets rerouted. Enterprise teams start asking whether the breakthrough model is worth the friction. The precedent is the biggest part. Fable 5 suggests Frontier AAI is leaving the era of permissionless launches. If a model looks strategically sensitive, Washington can pressure the product, the access layer, and even the deployment timeline. Here is the verdict. Fable 5 did come back. But it came back as a different kind of product, powerful, limited, watched, and politically legible. The bottleneck is no longer only chips, data, or electricity. It is human risk tolerance. The models are getting smarter. The room around them is getting smaller, and Fable 5 may be remembered as the first model launch that made that impossible to ignore.